Hey everybody, hope you're doing well, staying safe, and are healthy at your houses and homes. I'm at the office a little bit again today, but just wanted to make a quick video. Um, don't mind, my hair is doing about the same as everybody else. It's probably not looking its best, but I did trim the beard up a little bit. The two authorities in my life have a little different opinion, I think, on it. My wife thought it was getting a little bit long, but my daughter likes the poofiness, so had to kind of compromise. I today though wanted to make a second video on an installment of my Q tours. I'm calling them, for quarantine tours. Basically, these videos are a chance to do two different kinds of tours in the same short video. We'll do a part of our tour is kind of a metaphoric virtual tour of Family Ministries, the concepts and big ideas and purpose behind Family Ministries, and thought this would be a good time to kind of go over that with you while we're all kind of stuck alone. And then also, though, we'll do an actual tour of some of the church parts of the building and where some of these Family Ministries programs happen and that kind of thing. So maybe you'll learn something, or just learn a little more about Family Ministries. So let's get started on the first part of the tour, which is kind of the concept idea tour on what Family Ministries is all about. Of course, we don't have time, or I don't want to spend all the time to do it all in one day, so we'll just do a little bit at a time. But today is some big picture stuff, and one of the ways I'm going to do this is by using the website, which I've since everyone's becoming a professional Zoomer now, I'm trying to figure out, and I'm learning more about sharing screens and stuff. So let me share my screen with you. midlandreformed.org. Come to our website. Just for extra info, don't forget that you can find our worship resources and liturgies right here on the front page. Every week it's updated. But we're going to go to the Connect page up here in the corner. And the Connect page then has these different options, the adult ministry, youth ministries, and so forth. You can see what they are. We're going to focus on the children's ministry page, but just a little hint, as far as the big concept stuff and what Family Ministries is all about, a lot of that information is on both the youth and the children's page. So you can find it there. Now, about these web pages, though, that we put together for children and youth, there's always that balance of, like, we don't want to have too much information, but we want to have enough. And some might say that I fall on the side of maybe too much a little bit, but that's partly why I wanted to make these videos, to see if we could point out some of the key ways to start learning some things through the website if you're interested. You can see the classes and programs are listed through these pictures here. We're not going to go through those today. That'll be something in the future. But even our registration for all programs is linked here, all online registration. Then we have a little section about parent ministry. I encourage you to check that out. Especially, it talks about some extra resources that we use through parentministry.net that you might find interesting. There's this letter to parents that kind of gives you a little intro. But today, if there was one thing I would really like you to take a peek at in the next week or so, whenever you can, of all these things, would be the spiritual roadmap. That's kind of what I would say is the intro document to everything we do, Family Ministries here at MRC. As you can see, it's not short, but it's not just 3 pages or so. And it goes over kind of what our goals are whenever a child is a part of our church family and as it grows up. And it also relates to, though more importantly, your role as a parent in their life. The spiritual roadmap covers everything. We'll go back to that in a second. It's using the metaphor of like driving a car, where our child, as an infant, of course, will start in the car seat and doesn't really have a whole lot of input going on, but can still learn and absorb things and moves on to the passenger seat to learning more about driving, and then eventually gets trained at the actual driving while we're still in the car, hopefully helping them out. But so that's all kind of explained and talked about in this document. And then at the end, summary of some of the very key attributes of our family ministry. Just reading titles of them for you: intergenerational, holistic, biblical, kingdom-oriented, justice-producing, experiential, and open to questions. But I would love for you to take a chance or take a peek at this, spend the 5 or 10 minutes to read that through and see if it all helps you understand kind of where we're coming from here at MRC Family Ministries. And I'd love to hear any feedback you have. You can let me know. The rest of the page, though, has more things we'll go to in the future. This matrix kind of, you can't really divide up in clean and lines the walk of faith of following Jesus, but these are some general concepts and ideas and kind of what we think they come along at certain times. Talks about what programs at certain ages, what we're learning about at certain ages, and then you can click on those to get more information. So we'll go into that more into the future, but today I just wanted to give you a general idea how to search, find the website. And the first thing to read would be that spiritual roadmap right there in the middle. All right, let's back out of that. We'll stop sharing the screen. Now that we've done a little tour on the website and what we're all about, let's go take a little peek to part of our building and see where some of this action happens. All right. So here we are. As you can see, if you come down the stairs from the lobby upstairs, you come to our own little Family Ministries area lobby down here. One of the most popular items we have here, the train table. Gets well used and well loved. And some other toys to play with. The dinosaurs come out quite a bit. But if we go down the ramp here, we have the bathrooms on the side. And then you go through the big double red doors and come into the assembly room, which has a very indestructible, from so far we've tried, playground that we hopefully use just before and after class, that kind of thing. The main assembly area room used for lots of different things, like the singing when the kids get together on Sunday mornings for a few minutes to have the elementary age and preschool age sing together. They usually do that right after they come downstairs on Sundays, and then they go into their different classrooms. One of those classrooms is this one over here. On Sundays, it's the Worship and Wonder classroom. It's used during the week too for some other kids, but this is primarily a classroom for the pre-K who come and participate in kind of their own little worship service on Sunday mornings. That service is kind of listed out here in the pictures that they have here of order. Someone apparently snuck away the list for snacks. Hopefully they didn't eat it. But here we have all the stories that they go through. The storyteller, the main teacher, will have one each week that they focus on. For instance, here is the birth of Isaac. So you can see in each story there's often wood figurines that someone has made for us, and then the fabric as the outlay, and so those are the key Bible stories that we use throughout the year. Over here is where they come first, though, to get their name tags. Hopefully they can find them stuck to the wall, or one of our greeters, who is the other adult helpers or teen helpers in here, will be in here to help them make a new name tag. They're usually safe from these animals, and there's snacks and so forth in here. And they color every week a little bit too, so all these supplies are helpful. Let's move over to the next room, though. On Sunday mornings, at least, this is a room called for footsteps for kindergartners and first graders. But on Wednesday nights, it's used again for that younger group again, of pre-K, and we call it Wee Kids. I call this usually the barn room because it gets used for so many different places, but you can see if you can figure out why it's called the barn room. But we have lots of supplies. It's
kind of needed its own stock of art supplies to keep itself going. And name tags for the different programs. This is where we keep a lot of our toys for the downstairs area, because especially the wee kids on Wednesday nights they're in here for about an hour and a half. And that's quite a long time for a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old. So they have some time to play and interact with all these different toys, along with the artwork they get to make. And the video they watch from Little K on Wednesday nights. Some more artwork. So that's a couple of our rooms that we use, especially for the younger age kids. Next time we'll keep going around this area down here and check out some of the other rooms. Well, thanks for going on this little tour, both of our website and some of our classrooms here at MRC's Family Ministries. Please don't hesitate to get a hold of me if you have any questions or want to learn more. Take care.